I am joined in the Wiwibloggs Lounge by my countrymen Rasmussen and Emmelie de Forest. Welcome.
Woohoo! Thank you.
We're here in Liverpool and you are back in the Eurovision bubble again. I don't know how much of the city you have managed to see while you've been here, but how is it to be back in the Eurovision craziness?
It's fun, and yes, I got to see a little bit yesterday. I was walking around down to the harbour, and I haven't managed to get to the Beatles Museum yet, but I'm going to do that tomorrow. And I've done a bit of shopping in Primark, which we don't have in Denmark, so that's very important.
Yeah, same here. Actually, first time in Liverpool, and that's a mistake, you know, thinking about how big of a Beatles fan I am. So that's why I need to go to see Paul McCartney's house or something like that. But it's great to be back in the bubble. First time for me at the actual bubble, being back. So that's nice, actually. And Liverpool reminds me of London, and I love London. So yeah, it's great to be here.
I'll be with you in a second, but I'll just turn to you because you are the most recent one who have been in Eurovision. It's 5 years ago in Lisbon, where you came ninth for Denmark. Tell us a little. How was the experience back then, and what's the most crazy thing that happened in Lisbon?
The most crazy thing that happened was the ninth place. No, the fifth with the viewers. No, but actually I think it was. It was the roller coaster ride in the finals, actually. You know, having the jury votes and then later on just being one of the last mentioned. But it was just an extremely great adventure to be on. You know, especially with my guys. You know, the four other guys and Anders, the backstage choir man. Just to experience, first of all, Lisbon is an extremely beautiful city. And just to be introduced to the Eurovision community that way is amazing.
And Rasmussen came ninth, but you, 10 years ago, almost to date, I mean it was 18th of May if I remember correctly, you won the whole thing. Take us back to Malmö 2013. What are some of your memories from 10 years ago?
I don't remember anything. I'm just kidding. Well, it is kind of true. I have an insane memory. Like photographic memory almost. I remember conversations from 10 years ago, word for word, what music was playing in the background, what shirt my friend was wearing. I have insane memory. But from those 2 weeks in Malmö, I think it was just so crazy and overwhelming. So there's a lot of moments that are quite blurry to me. But yeah, there was lots of interviews and meet and greets and sound checks and rehearsals and gigs and stuff. But yeah, other than that, I was mostly in my hotel room and just trying to rest and get ready for the competition. So a bit boring, but yeah.
There is a lot to do. Take us back to the moment that you found out that you won Eurovision. What went through your mind back then?
I think I was just really, really happy and relieved because, we have been the favorite for a while and, you know, that's great, but it's also a bit of a pressure. So I was very relieved in that moment.
Let's talk a little about this year's Eurovision. Have you had a chance to listen to the songs from this year?
Usually I like to keep it fresh for the final or the semi-finals when I watch those. But I've heard, besides the Scandinavian songs, I've heard the one from Austria and Iceland. Yeah, so I need to hear a few of them.
And you?
Yeah, we are, especially my wife is, all in Eurovision. So we watch actually, when I'm not out playing in the weekend, we watch the semi-finals and finals of the Mello, the Swedish Mello. So we're all in on that point. And, I can't help myself but, check out some of the other songs. So, of course, Finland, I've heard a lot of and Austria and Czech Republic and, our Scandinavian neighbors and stuff like that. Of course, yeah. Actually, I think I've heard a lot of them.
A lot of them, yeah.
But it's always fun to watch the Swedish show. I mean, how many programs? 6 or so? Yeah,
it's an amazing final this year,
And as we talked about being back in the Eurovision bubble, we haven't had an actual Eurovision bubble, because of COVID and everything. How is it like for you to come back and you're going to perform tonight for people at the Eurofans Club? How is it to come back and being able to meet the Eurovision fans again after all these years?
we meet Emily also. I think you do, a lot. Meet the fans to the different parties that are held in different countries. But so we meet the fans there. But this time it's the bubble. I feel it's different because it's not about us now. It's about all of the others, and it's so great to actually have that, for me, to have that distance to it right now. And of course, meeting the fans when they recognize you and invest in you, it's great to meet them. They are why we're here, but it's just great.
Yeah, same. It's always fun, and I also play a few of the gigs that are held during the year for different fan clubs. But this is different. I can't remember the last time I was here during Eurovision week, because I wasn't in Italy, I wasn't in Portugal. I can't remember. Maybe it was Israel, 2019, I guess. Yeah, so it's been a while, and then there was COVID. So it's really fun to be back and meet everyone. And like you said, it's not about us, so there's not that pressure. Also, it's not as nerve-wracking. So that's nice.
You get to experience this, as for my sake at least, as of course a Eurovision artist, former Eurovision artist who are playing at a club, but also as a Eurovision fan, actually. So that's different but nice.
An easy question, but maybe difficult to answer. How has Eurovision changed your lives?
Should I start? Okay, I'm going to try to make it short. I think the biggest change is probably that I can do music full time. It's my job, and it's been my job for 10 years. And before that, I started playing gigs when I was like 14 every weekend, but that was like an extra job when I didn't go to school on weekends. And then I worked for a bit in a bakery to support myself besides the music. And since I won the Danish final, I've been able to just do music full time, which was what I set out to do and which was my dream. So I think that's been the biggest change.
And for you?
Yeah, it's. I was a little bit older than Emily when I won, so I already earned a living, as a performer. But of course, winning the Danish and then doing great in Eurovision has made it so that it's not the artist, that's not in a bad way. The unknown artists they hire, that's often Rasmussen they hire for jobs often, and otherwise it's just doing my own stuff. But so that's the main, and also meeting so many great people and expanding your network has of course been a hugely part of Eurovision, the Eurovision experience.
You have experienced it both, and we will see Riley for Denmark on Thursday in semi-final 2. One piece of advice you would give to him and all the other artists in this year's Eurovision before the semi-final, who actually starts with semi-final 1 tonight?
I don't know. I don't know who he has with him backstage. Getting ready to go on stage. But I would definitely say, try to keep calm down there, and hug your the ones that are with you, and just be focused because those 3 minutes in there goes by so extremely fast. So if you're not ready when they are, it's just the biggest machine in the world when you stand there. So if you're not ready, and you can't remember anything of it. So it's just be focused, because it goes by so fast.
And to have good people around you, I think, is a good advice. I had a lot of routines, things I did in a certain way, with my makeup and rehearsing with my backup singers, and just having a routine. And I think it helps on the nerves, because it is quite bad. I mean, oh God, it's terrible standing there, like 5-10 minutes before when you're backstage and you get your in-ears on. It's really awful. So I feel for him and everyone who's in the competition, because, yeah.
It's so important to have some good people around you, so you can feel, safe. You can be calm, and just breathe the experience and the moment.
We have loved to have you here in the Wiwibloggs Lounge today. You are Eurovision legends in Denmark, Rasmussen. Emily, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
Such a pleasure. Yeah.
And before we end, we have gifts for you.
Ooh.
We have from LUSH with nice products,
That's
and
nice.
I guess beard balm we need to add to yours.
That would be very nice.
Yes, it
Otherwise,
would.
I'm very glad for that.
That's good. Rasmussen,
Hair primer, yeah.
Rasmussen, Emmelie, once again, thank you so much.
Thank you.